I experienced something a few years ago that still gives me chills every time I think about it. It happened in a small town called Red Oak, deep in the Midwest. My wife, our 2 kids, and I were on a road trip to my parents' place for the holidays. We had started our journey earlier in the day. It was a bright, sunny morning when we packed up the car and set out. The kids were excited, chatting about the presents they would get and the snowmen they would build. My wife was in high spirits too, humming along to the Christmas songs playing on the radio. We had everything planned perfectly, or so we thought. We had planned to take our usual route, which was a well-traveled highway with plenty of rest stops and gas stations. But as we approached the turnoff, we saw that the road was blocked. There had been a big accident, and the police had closed the road. A detour sign directed us to take a different route. This detour led us onto a smaller, less traveled road. I hesitated, but figured it would add only a few hours to our trip. As we drove, the day turned to evening, and the sky began to darken. The road wound through dense forests, and there were long stretches where we didn't see another car or any signs of civilization. It was unsettling, but I told myself it was just a quiet road. I remembered stories I had heard about this route, stories of tragic accidents and eerie happenings. There was one particular tale about a red truck that caused numerous crashes and then vanished. People called it the ghost truck. The police were still searching for that truck and its driver. The detour delayed us, and by the time we reached a small diner for dinner, it was getting dark. The kids ate their burgers and fries with gusto, and my wife and I shared a piece of pie for dessert. We lingered a bit longer than planned, trying to shake off the growing sense of unease. Back on the road, the darkness closed in around us. The trees pressed in on either side, and the headlights only illuminated a small patch of the road ahead. The kids had fallen asleep in the back seat, and my wife was dozing off too. I was the only one still awake, feeling uneasy for some reason. This road had a bad reputation. I had heard stories of murders and accidents happening here, especially involving a red truck. People said it appeared out of nowhere, causing crashes and then disappearing into the night. After driving for hours, I spotted a gas station sign through the fog. It was the first sign of life we had seen in miles, so I decided to take a break. I woke my wife gently and pulled into the station. The gas station looked old and run down. I got out to pump gas, the cold night air hitting me. While I was pumping gas, my son woke up. Rubbing his eyes, he asked excitedly, "Daddy, are we at Grandma's house?" I shook my head. "No, buddy. We're just getting some gas." He looked disappointed and said, "Grandma must be waiting for us." At that moment, an old, rusted truck pulled up next to us. The driver, a gaunt old man, stepped out and stared at our car. He had pale skin, dark eyes, and a creepy grin that showed his yellow teeth. He was listening to our conversation, and it made me uneasy. I hurried to finish pumping gas, feeling scared. The old man stepped closer, his eyes on my daughter. He spoke in a raspy whisper. "Beautiful family you got there. On your way to see the grandparents?" His words felt sinister, and I tried to stay calm. "Yeah, just passing through," I said, trying to hide my fear. He didn't leave. Instead, he started talking about being a truck driver and how dangerous the roads were at night. His tone was dark and foreboding. I forced a smile, quickly finished pumping gas, and excused myself, saying we needed to get back on the road. As I got back into the car, I felt his eyes on me. My wife, now fully awake, saw the fear in my eyes. "What's wrong?" she whispered. I just shook my head and started the car. As we drove away, I saw the old man's truck following us. My wife noticed too. "Is he following us?" she asked. Her voice panicked. "Just stay calm," I said. "We'll lose him." I tried to shake him off by taking sharp turns, but he kept following us. The kids woke up, scared and confused. "Daddy, what's going on?" my son asked. I tried to reassure him, but I felt helpless. Suddenly, the old man's truck disappeared. For a moment, I thought we had lost him, but then he reappeared, parked on the side of the road. He rammed into the back of our car, pushing us into a ditch. We were trapped. I saw him approaching with a knife in his hand. My wife grabbed my arm. "What are we going to do?" she whispered. We were trapped, surrounded by darkness, with no one to call for help. The fear was suffocating, a heavy weight pressing down on my chest. My mind raced, searching for a way out. But before I could do anything, something incredible happened. Out of nowhere, a loud siren pierced the night, the sound echoing off the trees. Red and blue lights flashed in the distance, growing brighter as they approached. As the police arrived, the truck driver ran into the woods, his thin figure quickly vanishing among the trees. The officers chased after him, their flashlights cutting through the dark as they shouted for him to stop. The chase didn't last long. Within minutes, they caught him and pinned him to the ground. The police then told the family the horrifying truth. This man wasn't just a truck driver, but a dangerous serial killer and pedophile, wanted in many states. His intentions that night had been very bad, and the family's close escape from him sent a new wave of fear through them. The police assured them they were safe now, but knowing such a monster had been so close left them deeply scared long after the night ended. The drive was tense, but we finally reached our neighborhood and pulled into our driveway, feeling relieved. We locked the doors and hugged our kids, trying to forget the night. The next morning, we found a dirty note slipped under our front door. It read, "You can't hide from me forever." My blood ran cold, the fear returning. We never saw the old man again, but the terror he left behind still haunts us. So, have you ever felt like a nightmare was just waiting for you to let your guard down? If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and share for more chilling tales. You never know what might be lurking just around the corner.